is Osei, and we're back on Lawfolds. It's the 4th day of winter, and it's time to feed the animals again. Used up all the bales on that corner, didn't I? Yes. Okay. See how high that reaches. Oh, good catch. Yes. Basically, that stack way too high to lift anything from. So we had to take the whole thing down. Oh, this is annoying. There we go. One bale of hay. So off camera I've sold all of the silage bales that were up at the BGA. Sold a few more crops, but not many. I think a truck and trailer load of canola, and probably the same of wheat. Ironically, the popular crop in Scotland is barley, but it doesn't fetch as much as the wheat does. Fair bit of rain, the ground is frozen, so pretty much the only thing we can do is feed animals. And that reminds me, yep, we can get one more bale of hay in there. We should probably speed time up because this is the only thing that we're really going to achieve today. I could possibly take some crop to market if it's a good price. Go. Thank you. So this will overload the trough. Probably only need 1,000 litres. And if it was loose, that's all we'd get in there, but because we put a bale in, that's 4,000 more. So we've probably got about 3,000 litres over capacity. So we've got enough in there for more than 3 days. And water. And there we go. Sheeps is happy for another 3 days. That'll put us into spring. It won't. I'll feed them on the last day of winter. But with sheep it doesn't really matter. With the cows and the pigs, if I feed them, what is it, straw? They use about twice as much straw during the winter as they do in the spring. So if I load up the pens early. Oh, hi Magnum, how's it doing? Yeah, if I load up the pens early, then the straw will actually last us pretty much all the way through to summer, which is kind of handy. So that is the sheet completely done. And I didn't pull out far enough. We'll put this in the barn, or in the workshop. Oh, that wasn't so good. Let's get inside and look round. There we go. So yeah, I have now so much machinery that I've taken to parking at least some of it in each of the maintenance bays, which means if I have to do maintenance, something's got to move. Okay, what's next? He's just sitting there. Massey Ferguson, let's go, guy. Oh, I'm gonna have to move that. Down here. Let my tractor go. Oh, nice. Yes. I can't really work with the super huge stuff. I found on this map 12-meter equipment is good. The class doesn't have the greatest of turn radiuses, so it'll do a U-turn in 12 meters, give or take. But I'm figuring anything big is going to be a little bit unwieldy. Especially some of the big bud equipment that probably won't fit through those double gates. Pigs are happy. So which farm are you playing? Too much. Oh my goodness. I think I've still got my Gold Quest games and save game. Look to the side. Probably going to have to get another crate of this. Oh, that sucks. Darn. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, 116, I'm going to use all of that. Can't look from that side. It's good. This is so difficult without a decent depth of perception. There we go. Oh dear. That's going to be a problem later. Let's do this. Back down there. So did you ever try any other maps, or just stuck with Goldcrest, or just kept coming back to it? Let's go. That's it for beats. Getting a good size of pile of manure in there as well now. Hey Pi, how you going? How you doing? Let's go forward. Yeah. Drop the front. There we go. And, okay, done with the forks. Let's go get the trailer. Wow, 160 pigs. I've got 137 sheep and I think I only bought 50. Okay, go back to barley, and we want about 1500. Okay, that might be a little too much. I've passed a lot of time today because it's winter, so nothing really needs doing. But animals get fed. And I've been selling some crop. Yeah. We haven't even had any snow to clear. I don't think anyone ever did a geo for Scotland. If they had done, I could switch that on. That might give me a little bit more snow than I've been getting. Although the last 2 years have been fairly mild, fairly heavy. So it's good to have a mild year once in a while. this up. You go backwards, then you turn left, miss the crash barrier, and that should be just right to unload. Done. Soybeans, about 1,000. Probably too much. So at this point, my schedule looks like Farm Sim 19 all of next week. Or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I've got a million silage. It's actually finished brewing at them now, but it's still covered. Corn. Wow. I bet I couldn't do that if I tried again. Exactly 2,000. I pre-ordered mine this week. Kind of late, I know, but it's all gone. What does the... Oh, good grief. No, we could probably do with another 500 corn. I might do that. Bring up 2 bales of straw from the other farm. Ah! Crap. No, too much. Oh well. I definitely have enough corn in the back of there for now. Yeah, I know my old PC was struggling with this farm. There's a lot of scenery, shall we say, dotted around the main farmyards, which cause serious heavy problems for graphics. You know, you've got all this, the tanker there. I think there's a cultivator hidden in that pile of weeds somewhere. Right about there. There's old harvesters and other stuff, broken trailers. The workshops are fully stocked, and the result is that my old PC really couldn't cope with trying to plot them all, even if they weren't directly in view. Yeah, the system had to handle them. So I was running on low settings, and it still got very chuggy when I drove towards a farmyard. But I figured it was time for a new PC, and I've never had a top of the line PC. I wouldn't say this is top of the line, but it's cost me more than the last 3 PCs put together. I'm impressed with how good it looks. Oops, don't reverse into it full. Engine off. Okay, we will probably... let's change that. Do that instead. Ding. Okay. I was fairly certain my old PC was no way going to run out Farm Sim Sat 19. Considering it struggled with this map. A lot of the other maps it didn't have a problem with. The new game is going to take some getting used to. I'm hoping they've fixed the steering wheel interface, because I know Martha had configuration issues with the pre-release version, and that's not going to be favourable. Okay, where do we go? Up here. Okay, what does that look like? Oh, this is bad news, I think, because that's only about 2 days worth. do we get? Oops. When do we get to harvest? Good grief. The earliest I'm going to get any straw is on day 5 summer. Well, on Goldcrest, everything was penned, and it looks like the pens that they've created for Farm Sim 19 are almost copies of the Goldcrest pens. Sheep definitely looks familiar, similar. I haven't seen the pig one, but I'm guessing it's a little bit smaller. And the cow one is a lot smaller because the cows had a large pasture at the back and a big shed. But I'm guessing people are going to be able to create mods such that you can have a large field the animals wander around in, but again they don't want to make it too large. Okay, this is. I'm gonna have to add the bale mod because there's no way I've got enough straw here. As it is, I'm not going to be using straw in the TMR mix for a while. Oh, that didn't even make a dent. Good grief. How's that look? About as good as the pigs. Okay. Why did that fall over? Okay. Oh, that wasn't very clever. Well, nuts. Oh, it's good to mess up occasionally. So, no, what am I doing? Let's release the thing. Okay, let's try getting them in the barrel and not behind the barrel this time. Oh well, that worked. It's nice these forks have extra elevation on them, as well as having the longer arms on the Valtra. We'll get another one of those. So normally I do 2 silage, 2 hay, 1 straw, but I don't have enough straw left. And if you don't feed the cows straw, then their slurry production drops by about 30% and their manure production drops to 0. Oh, that's very bad. Okay, that made a big giant mess. I'm not on the forks, that's why. Okay. Should pick up auto, that should pick up auto. And that works. And hopefully this will end up as a good mix. It's filling up both of them. Yes, that's filling up both of them. Yeah, we probably won't see any we probably probably won't see any orchard harvesters, but I'm guessing someone will add orchard trees back in as a mod. Maybe more than what we had in 17. Okay, no trailer drop, thank you. Forwards. Get the water. Which one's the water trough? That one. So that's all the water. Everybody got straw, everybody got food. So, what is the commodity market looking like? 603 for wheat. Should probably think about selling some barley too. I got a lot of that. And I've got a lot of that in the ground as well. Start running out of silo space next year. Let's sell the barley. At least a truckload of it. Oh, that's nice. And still more to go. Best time for me to sell soybeans is over the summer. So I've only got about 90,000 in the silo. But canola's good at winter. I've been selling off most of that, but I want to make sure I've got enough for the pigs in the coming year. So, coming up on 5 o'clock. car coming the other way. Yeah, this is actually the first farm I've played that I've used a manure spreader. Previously, all I've done with the manure is stuck them in greenhouses to double the income. But there's so little space on this map to place greenhouses, like I would have to take out an entire field in order to do it, that I've just not bothered. With 170,000 litres of cow manure sitting around, sort of, yeah, it's probably time to use it for something. Well, unload the tail one first. That's fine. $11,700 and probably 11,005 for the second. Yep. I actually cleared the gate post that time. Normally I get the truck wrapped around that exit. Well, I managed to get the cow manure up to, what was it, 170,000, but it starts complaining at about 75. Currently got 106,000. That's barely enough for one field on this farm. Is this the way I want to go? I guess. They've seriously nerfed wool prices in 19. It's only about $1,000 a litre instead of 7, 5. Time coming up on 6 o'clock, so I'll stick the truck back in the farmyard and we'll skip the night again. Yeah, I'd actually noticed it when might have been Arthur, might have been someone else was doing had the commodities market up, and I noticed how low wool was in value. I thought, oh, that's not good. Well, there were a bunch of other greenhouses modded in. Let's see, what did we have? We had tomatoes and lettuce, and I think some other people had modded in about 4 or 5 other types of greenhouses. Some of them were sort of the plastic saran wrap type things. So I'm guessing we will see greenhouses in. Although maybe they've removed the stuff that automatically just generates income. So modding them in might be more difficult. Okay, I should be able to skip the night, so I'll get out the truck. Alt N. And we go till dawn. Well, I had heard that they're looking into some terrain modifying tools. I do have a mod on this farm. This one, which looks like the standard roller, but it gives you the ability to lay down multiple. Let's get that out. And I've not really had to use this for much of anything. Most of the time I've just used it for straightening up the fields. However, if I lift that up, drive forward a little, not that. This has, okay, remove grass, no. You can toggle that from no to yes. There's the number 10. Ground type, original ground, cultivated, ploughed, sowed wide, grass field, asphalt, sand, concrete, pine needles, grass, gravel, leaves, rock, mud, paving slabs, dirt, meadow, lawn, bright dirt, and original ground. So I can actually, using this roller, I can lay a road, which is quite nice. Like I said, I haven't had to do that here. So, what is it? It's on original ground, remove grass, no. Drop it on the floor. And if you're not careful, it will do exactly that when you put it down. So you end up with a patch of grass somewhere, and unfortunate. I might sell this T6, I must admit. I don't use it for an awful lot. So let's check commodity prices again. Okay. I think in general that's coming down. This isn't looking much healthier. That's definitely down. It's below 1,000. Alt S. Wheat. Yeah, we're tailing off on price here. Barley tailing off there. Canola tailing off. Soybeans just not worth it, and they'll build up to midsummer's the best time to sell them. Corn doesn't look too healthy. Got a couple of crates of sugar beets, but really not worth much. I got a big demand here, so I sold the spare wool I had. Wood chips, this is a good time to sell wood chips, but I don't have any, and I'm not chopping down trees right now. Okay, let's do that. I am going to jump out of the game, see if I've got the hay mod loaded. Going to the garage. Your placeables should be viewable from there. Lawfolds. Okay. Is it buy bales or something like that? Bale storage. Storage barns. Buy bales. That'll do nicely. Restart. And so I will jump in the yellow truck and go and buy some. I could reset them too. I've still got to get them loaded on something, so okay, yellow truck. Further. There we go. So what's today? Day 5. Ugh. Last day. Oh, it's going to rain today. Wonderful. It does kind of mean I need to get the bales back and indoors before the rain comes. Actually, it doesn't, because this map is not seasons ready, so if you've baled up your hay and your straw, it doesn't rot. And if it's loose, even if it's inside, it does rot. Too many vehicles, get out of the way. Can't pass any of these because I don't have a clear enough gap to get past all 3. Probably get between the second and third one. That still puts me at 23 miles an hour. The traffic is still solid mobile objects on Farm Sim 19 as well. Okay, we are here. Huh. Is it in there? Oh yeah. Straw bales. 8. I could get round ones because the truck will carry 16 of them. Although they are $200 more, pounds more. I've got the money. this is the one vehicle I know of that it's more efficient to carry round bales than it is square. Round bales, but only 12 square ones. Thank you, dude. Fine. Off you go. Okay, there's a vehicle coming. We'll nip in behind him. Yes, and I did unload the bales onto the back of the truck, so they are real as opposed to images of bales sitting on the back of a truck. And that is the one downside with this vehicle, is it's very top heavy, because you've got the attachment mechanism for the frame, whereas ordinarily a truck bed would be the truck bed and thus a lot lower. But you trade off the instability for flexibility. Some of these angles are a bit precarious as well. Okay, we will park the truck exactly here, and unload them there, and then put them all back on. What's that? Okay, turn that off. Unload to the back of the truck and re-strap them down. Okay, at least now I can get by until the barley comes due, or the wheat, or both. And this time I'm going to save more than 32 straw bales for the entire year. That was my mistake last year. And it's actually the first time I've missed an estimation over the course of, this is the last 2 days of the 4th year, and I've guessed number of bales correctly all the way up until this year. I've seriously underestimated how many I need. Okay, we will do 5, load them on the back, 5, turn it off, 4, position the unload, move forward a bit and slide that over there. That should be good. And then take the straps off, unload them there. Oh, it's raining, and that will do for now. So we have straw bales. While I'm here, I might as well go and run over to the Valtra. Grab a couple of those and stick them in with the cows. No, that's not good. There we go. Now, these are auto-loaded, so they're not real, they're just images, so the rain wouldn't affect them, even if I was on a Seasons Prepared map, but primarily because this isn't Seasons Prepared. Those are 8,000 or 4,000 litre bales. So where are we up to? Oh yeah, we need a few more than that. Yeah, the first time I gave a try out on this map, I was taking somewhere in the region of 36 round bales on a 2-foot flatbed trailer, hauled behind a tractor. I was taking them up towards the BGA, and that involves a right-hand turn of crossroads, and I completely screwed up the turn, rolled the trailer. They were strapped down, but I couldn't get the tractor or trailer upright. So I took the straps off so all the bales fell off. Managed to get the tractor upright, but by that time I was wedged between traffic from 3 different directions. So generally not a good deal to lose it. Okay, let's do that. Should be one. That's one. Okay. Take this over to the cows, and they should be happy for a very long time. And we still have straw for TNR again. Very late user of the CSC pack, but it's quite impressive. I do like the auto-load forks, considering in general how bad the bale physics can be at times. I mean, even with the auto-load, I have issues from from time to time. But the auto-load script doesn't accept wrapped round bales, either silage or hay. Take square bale silage, but not round ones. This is, well, yes, probably. My plans for Lawfolds is it will be the Saturday morning stream, at least until I've completed the breeding achievements. I might keep going, but it will be only on Saturday mornings. My scheduled broadcasts are Monday and Tuesday evening, Thursday and Friday evening, and Saturday morning. I've got a special this Sunday for what am I doing? Old Stream Farm with seasons, where I compare with what I did last week without seasons, with differences. The differences to my setup I make when playing with seasons. But yeah, this will be the last evening session of Lawfolds. And this isn't a scheduled session. Saturday evening is as and when real life allows. Generally Sunday evening likewise. Wednesday is my day off. Monday is usually World of Warships with Arthur. Friday is usually Arthur and Friends. Going forward, Farm Sim 19. Tuesday and Thursday nights are my own farm, which obviously has been Lawfolds, but since we're going into Farm Sim 19, it's not going to be anymore. I will be doing, since we're not doing round bales have always had problems. I know the likes of Oxygen David and Bullet Bill have a script that they add to all their hedges that prevents bales from rolling through the hedges, so at least the bales stay on the field. I've had a big problem with round bales on this map. Okay, what's the pricing? That's over 1,000 now. Let's do that. Aberdeen Grains. That's where we just went, so easy enough. Yeah, I'm going to see. As I said, I'm going to leave 17 installed. But yeah, Arthur's going to be playing his multiplayer, or trying out multiplayer on Monday, so he's not going to be playing Warships, so I'm not either. I'll be starting Farm Sim 19 from the point where I can get it downloaded. It's expected around 6 o'clock on Monday evening for me, but I've then got to download it and get it all set up. Tuesday's definitely me playing Farm Sim. Oops. Thursday will be as well, and we're not doing an Arthur and Friends on Friday, so I'll be streaming Farm Sim 19 on Friday as well. And I have no idea what I'm going to be doing in any of those streams at this point. Eventually I'll settle on a farm and actually start playing properly, but initially it'll just be let's explore stuff. Oops. I might do something like a comparison of the 3 start methods with a farm, what you can do without, with just the money, and you have to buy everything, and then what to do when you have less money and you can't even afford fields. And between all that, I want to get out there and investigate the maps and see which one I like and pick one to do a let's play on. So we'll see where we end up with. And obviously Monday, once it's downloaded, I need to get all my controls set up correctly. I have no idea how long that's going to take. So provisionally Monday stream is going to start at 8 o'clock. But it may be a bit later. I'm probably going to go with Farm Manager mode. But I am going to at least play a couple of hours of all three modes to see which one I prefer. Because I'm guessing since they've got rid of easy, medium and hard, or easy, normal and hard, the economies on all three starts are going to be identical. On Farm Sim 17 you tended to get more money for crops on easy mode. Fuel was cheaper. I think water was more expensive on easy mode, but then there were so many opportunities to get free water. That wasn't always a hardship. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess I can compare that when I start each method. We can compare the market. And see what the pricing looks like. Well, it's turned into a nice day. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll also be interesting to see if any of the map modders play with the economy as well. Supposedly this map has an incredibly favourable economy. Even on hard mode it's difficult not to make money from crops. I'm so unused to coming at the farm from this direction. So obviously playing sort of contractor mode, that's going to be very difficult because your contracts only pay out a couple of thousand on average, and it's what, 300,000-400,000 to buy a plot of land, then another 300,000 to put a farmhouse on it. It's going to be a tough startup. Okay, I did that. What do I want to do now? It's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That still looks good. No, that's sunflowers. I don't have any of those. I guess I could take another load of barley, because I need to get rid of barley. I've just got way too much of it. This is around the best time of year to sell it. And I need room in the silos for next year's barley crop. So, back one. These silos are only 250,000 litres. Okay, off we go again. Oh yeah, the cows are unhealthy because there's no grass in the world. But then again, on Start From Scratch, there are some mission or some contracts that pay out 16,000, and you can lease the equipment. Looks like you lose about 20% of the income with the equipment leasing. That would then mean you don't have to spend any of your money on your starter farm. And cut him up. I'm kind of glad black sheep modding is still going to be about. Because they produce some good equipment and maps. Tip left side, okay. now afford to buy some cows. Quite happy with the level of money we got now. Beginning of winter we were bouncing around about £80,000. We sold a ton of silage bales down at the BGA, talking about 250. A lot of crops. I sold a big JCB fast track, it's at 7,000, 8,000. As I said, I think I'm thinking of selling the T6 because I don't really have much of a use for it. Valtra fills in for a lot of the medium duty work. I've got a small Massey Ferguson which I use to feed the pigs with, that could be used on my fertilising equipment. The Class is the big tractor on the farm which does most of the heavier lifting. I've got 110 hours on it so far. That's going to be a penalty in 19. I was watching one of the giant streams. One of the guys was basically, oh, I've got a Massey Ferguson with 50 hours, and I'm sitting there thinking, you part-timer. Only 50? You've been slacking, boy. Oh, that's usually not a good... Actually, that's a good point. I should do something about that too. I don't have an awful lot left to plant. I've got nothing left to plant this year, obviously, but we need to go and sort that out. It's 5 o'clock. Is it time to skip night? No. Okay. We'll jump out of that truck and we'll go and get the other one. Can't tell. That should be it. Yes. Stick that there, reverse it up. And go and get the Massey Ferguson. Because we have stuff to do with the front loader. Starting to get dark again. Slow down time for a sec. Okay, that truck there Start the engine. Follow me. And we should have lights and probably beacons. Let's go. Yes, I do have pallet forks on this. Good. I have generally put the largest engine on most of the tractors I've got, but the class I only put a 380 and I think it goes up to 420. And surprisingly, I found the 380 to be quite adequate for all of the jobs on this farm, in spite of some of the wild hills that abound here. And this field to the right climbs quite sharply. That's a big drain on a tractor, and I'm running the real fuel or realistic fuel mod, which basically says, okay, you've got X horsepower output and the equipment uses this much, the equipment's this much weight, so's the tractor. Do you have enough horsepower to actually get this thing rolling? So I can't say, oh, this equipment needs 300 horsepower, so a 320 horsepower tractor is perfectly adequate for it, because once you add in the weight of the vehicle and the weight of the tractor and the effect of gravity on the combination, you can find that, yeah, this tractor ain't nearly good enough for the task only. I had a what's it, the JCB fast track with the biggest engine, 320 horsepower, and frankly it just couldn't cope. It couldn't pull the plough, it couldn't pull the cultivator, it could manage the seeder just about, and it couldn't move the square bale collection trailer. Once you had 16 bales in it, it was struggling. Now the class doesn't have the acceleration the JCB does, MT, but it has the torque to actually move heavy loads. Off. Turn the beacons off. We shall park this over here. Lights off. Engine off. Uncover the tail. And go get the tractor. Okay, we need pallets. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can't say I watch a high number of farm sim players, but I have never seen any of the ones I do watch doing this. There is a reason that you can put seed in an auger wagon. Oops. And that's so either a tractor with a trailer and this frame on the back, or a truck can follow around my seeding equipment and restock it on a field. And unlike the let's stick the seed in a tipper trailer and then tip the seed on the floor at the farm, this method I just keep it in the auger wagon and extend the pipe and unload directly into a seeder when it needs it. Whereas the tipper trailer method, you take it back to the farm, you tip the seed on the floor, and then you need a front loader and shovel to get it all into the seeder. I've got another one of these auger wagons loaded with fertiliser, and I've also got a tank loaded with liquid fertiliser as well. And the fourth supply tank is a diesel fuel tank, so I can, if tractors are out in the field and they're running short of gas, I can leave it on a worker and go fetch a truck with a fuel tank on the back, and I can refuel without having to stop the job at hand, run back to the farm and fill up. Plus, on this map, while it does have a good economy, seed from the dispensers at the farm costs twice as much as these pallets. Obviously, when you start out, you don't want to be spending more money than you need to. And once your farm's this mature, I will occasionally use those refill points if I happen to be in a yard and I know the seeder doesn't have quite enough seed left to do the next field. I'll fill up, but it does cost way too much money to do it, so it's a lot easier, or it's a lot cheaper to do this. I can fill up this auger wagon whenever I want to. I'm going to have 10,000 litres of seed in it. I actually started this practice when I was on Chellington, because there was a couple of very large fields that were a long way from the farm, and there was the seed refill point at the farm and the gas tank at the farm, but when you're using a tractor that only has 170 litres of fuel, seeding all of the fields, I used to run out halfway through the last field. So rather than heading back to the farm, it was just easier to take a fuel bowser with me, and I could refill as needed. And then the seeders had the same problem. Some of the seeders have sort of a 300 litre tank of seed and a 1200 litre tank of fertiliser. Well, the fertiliser will last you years, but the seed will last you 2 fields worth. I have to refill them again. And even all this seed is not enough to fill that auger wagon entirely. But it'll be sufficient, because come spring I only have 4 fields to plant. I'm planning on 2 soybean, 2 corn. A soybean doesn't use much in the way of seed at all. I think corn's kind of a medium usage of seed. But that's also in there, you plant corn from the planter. So I have no idea how much seed's in that. Oh, there we go. All right. And that looks like the last one. If you were wondering, I'm using the the Quick Look mod, which maps the arrow keys to a quick change in direction. You know, the direction the camera's pointing. So if I push the up arrow, I'm looking forward. If I push the down arrow, I look straight backwards. And then the left and right arrows alter the angle of view by 45 degrees a time. Okay, I'm going to say that's probably enough seed for now. Put that back in front of the truck and we'll jump out. So that was empty. Now 49%, so it's 20,000 litre auger wagon. Engine start. Back on follow me. Excuse me while I jump out. Thank you. Let's go. I don't have anything fancy like track IR that follows the direction my head's pointing. Okay. I probably shouldn't be running with my front work lights on. For the same reason that people run with their brights on truck sims. You can't see much without the brights on. I'm also probably going to be a bit frustrated with Farm Sim 19 when it comes out because of the lack of quality of life mods you can add. Things like the quick look, the glance mod, which is up at the top left of the screen, which gives readouts of kind of important information. Top right, I've got the real-time clock, so I can tell when it's getting late. Okay, I'll put that there. Turn the beacons off, turn the lights off, turn the engines off, get out. Let's go running back to here and put the auger away. Oh. I should probably check the fertilizer kit as well, see where that's at, because I'm going to need that next year. Okay, and let me crash into the solid fertilizer tender. That was the wrong way to turn. And we could probably do with some of that sooner or later. But I think solid fertilizer is fairly efficient. I can probably just stick that in the planter and use the liquid fertilizer this year. That's cool. Tail lights on that tank. Okay. And yeah, I crashed into it again. That's about as close as you're going to get. It's off. Engine off. Go get the tractor. Lights, engine, exit. Let's come around the front. Let's check the egg supply. Back up to 22 again. Where the chickens go? There's the chickens go. And I am going to like that Farm 719 puts eggs in boxes if you choose to have chickens. Because digging these up when it snows is impossible. You have to try and walk over the entire area and hope you land on each of them. Okay, how are we doing? And one left, again, as usual. Oh, there. We are done with the eggs. It's definitely late enough. Skip night, 7:20. Still a lot of milk income. I do like that about seasons. You get an awful lot of milk income over the winter months. There's 12 eggs. Let's get those as well. Maybe I'll sell them soon. I don't make much money, but it's free. The state this farm's in, it's negligible income. When you compare it with all the rest, 125 eggs. Okay, eggs done. What did we actually do so far this session? I've really only been playing an hour. No, that can't be right. Oh no, because we quit and came back in again. So I could load the bale mod. So we did a lot of driving. Animals need feeding again. Although theoretically they could go to the next morning. So yeah, I made a lot of money on that day and we've been ticking over the last few. That's just the milk. So I must have spent a fair amount on that day. Vehicle running costs, animal upkeep. Come on, why is there... I suppose, yeah. Oh, yeah. Charges happen at 1 minute to midnight. Income happens at 1 minute after midnight. Next screen. Up and coming services. At least 7 days before the next vehicle needs to be serviced. I don't think I've put the mileage on them yet. Value of soybeans is increasing. Value of everything else is decreasing. Oilseed radish, everything else is planted with stuff, and that field I will be buying sometime during this year, which will give me more straw. Yay. Okay, so pretty much looks like I'm done. It's day 6 winter. I will feed the sheep before I leave. I will run myself over with a gate. Since I'm already here. And I will start the next session, which may not be until next Saturday. Feeding the cows and the pigs. And getting into spring. Tomorrow the sheep start making more sheep. It's the last day of winter. One more bale and a lot of water. How does that look? Sheep are full of water and food. Good job. Because of the four-wheel steering on this tractor, I can actually outturn the allowance the hitch makes. No, fell. That button. There we go. Okay. I'm kind of happy that they are going to have Lindner still in 19. Because it is very agile. And while it doesn't need to be on this farm, some of the really small ones, its agility can make the difference. Too much. And all it needs is the front forks. Occasionally it's got enough weight to pick up one bale, but not two. Okay, that'll do. The lights aren't on, the engine is now off. We are done with the sheep. So I will call it a night now. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back maybe tomorrow afternoon with a stream, and I have no idea what I'd plan to stream then. And 8 o'clock in the evening onwards I'll be streaming Old Stream Farm with seasons and discussing the differences that I make to starting with seasons as to without for Farm Sim 17. Have a good night everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.